returning home today after a historic flight around the moon.
This is exciting, and there's some cool facts in here. The Orion will separate from the service module. It's going to enter the Earth's atmosphere, traveling close to 24,000 miles per hour. There's a heat shield that's able to withstand temperatures up to 5,000 degrees. Then the parachutes deploy so they can slow down their descent and make their splashdown off the coast of Southern California. Ahead of this big return home, the crew is reflecting on that historic flight.
This is just the beginning, and there's nothing that we can't accomplish when we pull all of our differences together. Not in spite of them, but when we pull them together and we work on something big for the good of everyone.
The Artemis II crew has one request, they say, when they land. They want to have some uncrusted sandwiches.
Fuentes joins us live.
Anyways, this is the most dangerous part of the crew's 695,000-mile journey as Orion comes screaming back to Earth, hitting the atmosphere at about Mach 33, 25,000 miles per hour, 45 times faster than a commercial airliner. The heat on that ship will quickly climb to 5,000 degrees, half the temperature of the surface of the sun. Orion's modified heat shield must hold to protect the astronauts. And then at 22,000 feet, the first parachutes will deploy, slowing Orion from 25,000 to 20 miles per hour and a safe splashdown about 50 miles off the coast of San Diego in the Pacific.
Nate Swanson, who served on President Trump's Iran negotiating team last year, he was the director for Iran at the National Security Council. Crew returning home. You are looking right there at a live look from NASA's view of the Orion space capsule as it races towards re-entering Earth's atmosphere ahead of a planned splashdown in the Pacific Ocean tonight.
Sam and Junior standing by with the splashdown forecast. What's next for NASA? Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez starts us off. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, George, good morning. Yeah, the countdown is very much on. Let's take a live look right now at the Artemis tracker from NASA. The Orion is now much closer to the Earth than it was to the moon. The history-making astronauts are almost home. This morning, we're just hours away now from the galaxy's most anticipated homecoming. The Artemis II crew set to return to Earth, splashing down off the California coast just after 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, completing their 10-day mission to the moon and back.
We were asked, what are we looking forward to? And I said splashdown, and it's kind of humorous, but it's literal as well, that we have to get back.
The final leg of the 695,000-mile journey will begin this afternoon. The astronauts will don their spacesuits and reconfigure the spacecraft's cabin. At 2:53 p.m. Eastern, the last trajectory burn to help keep the Orion capsule on course, all in preparation for one of the most dangerous phases of the entire mission, re-entry into Earth's atmosphere.
Man, I tell you, it's 13 minutes of things that have to go right. It's more, in my head, about an hour and a half of things that have to go right.
First, the capsule will ditch the bulky service module, which has been providing power, propulsion, and life support for the mission, also revealing Orion's heat shield. That will protect the astronauts from the extreme heat generated by re-entry. A few minutes later, one final fine-tuning of the crew's flight position. Then, at around 7:53 p.m., the moment we'll all be waiting for. Orion entering Earth's atmosphere at about 24,000 miles per hour, nearly 400,000 feet above the ocean. That heat shield withstanding temperatures of up to 5,000 degrees. During the most intense heat, a planned communications blackout. The crew will lose all contact with mission control. 2 rounds of parachutes will then slow down the capsule. The first set slowing the capsule down to about 200 miles per hour. The second to around 20 miles per hour before the final splashdown
complete. Integrity's astronaut.
This is AP News Minute. Vice President J.D. Vance.
The exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
And they stuck the landing. The Artemis II crew splashing down safely back on Earth tonight after an historic 10-day lunar mission. Christina Cook, Victor Glover, Jeremy Hansen, and Reed Wiseman were given a hero's welcome as people watched from around the world. It was an incredible sight. NASA says the astronauts are doing great. Gwen Baumgartner talked to spectators about what it was like to witness their return.
A splash landing in the Pacific Ocean Friday evening capped a historic voyage for the astronauts flying further into space than ever before aboard the Orion spacecraft. Seconds after the spacecraft re-entered the atmosphere at almost 24,000 miles per hour, the capsule's heat shield faced a critical test, enduring temperatures up to 5,000 degrees, while the crew encountered an expected communications blackout.
Your trajectory is nominal, and your recovery teams have visual.
After emerging from the blackout, Orion's parachutes deployed minutes before the capsule hit the water off the coast of San Diego. Space buffs gathered hours before to witness Orion's successful return.
My heart skips a beat when I think of how brave they are. I like the fact that the 4 astronauts were a togetherness thing. One from Canada, one black, one woman, another white guy, and I just thought that was fantastic. That's what I think our country is all about.
Petty Officer Second Class Led Soto is part of the astronaut extraction team.
I'm very proud to be on this mission and very proud of where we have come with all the training and all the hard work that everybody's put in.
The next mission in NASA's lunar exploration program is Artemis III, scheduled for next year, taking a crew into low Earth orbit. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, San Diego.
And we're going to go back to Trevor Albright now. Remember he told you that he was with a fraternity brother of Victor Glover, that fraternity Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and he's with him now. Trevor, take it away.
Yeah, we figured we would just talk to him here. Like an incredible story, personal connection. So this is Cecil Shelton. He's got his 2 daughters, Cheyenne and Ava. Welcome. Thank you for taking time to talk to us. You know Victor Glover pretty well, I would imagine. Fraternity brother, correct? How does it feel getting to witness his safety and what he's accomplished?
It's a great moment of pride, not only for us as a community, but us as his brothers. To see all the things that he's accomplished and has accomplished, we just take great pride in knowing that he's taken us with us a little part of that journey around the moon and back here on Earth.
How long have you known him?
Victor's he started the chapter here, Lambda Delta Sigma chapter here in San Diego. I've been a part of that chapter 13 years now, so he's been a part of my journey ever since I became a Sigma man 13 years ago.
So they told me in my ear, so correct, I might get this wrong, but I believe the motto is culture for service, service for humanity?
Culture for service and service for humanity.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You think he's walking the walk doing it right there?
Absolutely. Through and through. Yeah. That is the epitome of a Phi Beta Sigma man that we can all follow and emulate.
How long has he been working towards this?
It's been his dream. Actually, it wasn't his original dream. As you know, he started off just wanting to be a Navy SEAL, and so it was his dad who actually pushed him to go and to be a fighter pilot, and told him he could be an astronaut one day. And listen to your parents.
Astronaut's pretty good backup.
Astronaut's pretty good backup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. What were those moments like in the 6-minute gap when you couldn't communicate and waiting for the hashtag?
The whole time has been a little bit anxious. You've been worried about their safety and their health because it's just a journey that has been done before. But with this technology, we're just so proud that the people that have been a part of this journey have got him there and got him safely. So anxious until that splashdown happened, knowing that they were back on Earth safe.
But it seems like the kind of guy that you'd have a lot of faith in.
Basically, pretty much. He was a pilot, so we know that if anything was going to happen, he was going to get him back on Earth safely.
Cheyenne, I know you were watching everything that was happening pretty closely. You were telling me about some space facts. How was it watching them re-enter and come back to Earth?
Good.
What was your favorite part of the whole thing?
Seeing the rocket.
Yeah, I agree. Ava, how about you? How do you like this past week with Artemis and getting to watch him come back safely?
Knowing that my dad knows the person who was on the space shuttle.
Yeah, pretty amazing, right? Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Were you cheering with the crowd? Yeah. How are you feeling moving forward, seeing your daughters get to be inspired, not just by incredible space accomplishment, but by somebody that you know and love?
I think it opens up their eyes, their mind to the environment of STEM. They've always been excited about it, but to know that there's an even closer connection, I just hope that it, sparks something in them so I can let them know that you can travel to the moon and beyond.
Yeah.
It's a very proud moment.
I would imagine there's a lot of young girls, young boys that are inspired by what your buddy just accomplished here. So we really appreciate your time. Cheyenne, Ava, thank you very much. Very nice to talk to you. You're scared to go to the moon? You don't have to. I promise. You don't want to. Don't worry about it. There obviously some inspiration. We're not quite sending children to the moon yet, but very happy people, families just like this one, celebrating all day here in San Diego.
Thank you, Trevor. Tell us you can stay right here on Earth. Trevor, thanks a lot. Joining us now is astrophysicist Asa Stahl. Thank you so much for being here tonight through all of this and through this incredible, magnificent day. And like I said, this 10-day mission, it was incredible for these astronauts, Asa. What do you think is going through their minds and hearts right now?
It's almost hard to imagine. This is such a singular experience. I imagine it's some sort of mix of euphoria and honestly maybe a little bit of nausea, because that was quite the ride that they had, and they have a lot of readjusting to do to Earth's gravity. But I mean, these people just forged such a bond with each other. They seem like family up there. And so I think that they know that they're in the eyes of millions of people on them, looking to them as sources of inspiration and hope. And so I imagine that they're just feeling a lot of pride, but also probably quite a bit of exhaustion if they weren't just so caught up in the sense of celebration around them. I mean, they have everyone clapping them on the back. The NASA administrator, I think that they must be full of energy in the end.
And what's that feeling like when you successfully splash down back to Earth after pulling nearly 4 Gs on the way in?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, if you've ever been driving and then had to brake suddenly, then it's kind of like that, but times 5 to 10 and for 10 minutes straight. That's what it's like to decelerate from 25,000 miles per hour to 20 miles per hour. So I imagine it was quite a ride, but it's been a couple hours now since they've splashed down, so hopefully that's helped them readjust.
And NASA learns from every mission and analyzes enormous amounts of data. How does the process of getting this capsule back safely on Earth pay off scientifically?
Oh, well, gangbusters, I would say. This mission was full of scientists' experiments, and the crew themselves were scientific subjects in a way. NASA was continuously studying them for how they react to the low gravity environment, the radiation environment up there, and the agency is going to take that data as well as data from the experiments they're about to do with these astronauts for the next few hours and few days to learn about how crews can better adjust moving forward with missions like Artemis 3 next year and Artemis 4 the year after that to go back and land on the moon and build a sustainable presence there, and maybe one day go on to Mars.
So what happened over the next week or so for those astronauts?
Well, it depends on what happens over the next few hours, how their medical checkups work out. So far, we heard from NASA that they're all green, which means that they're all looking good. But until we get those detailed medical checkups in, we won't know exactly what is in store for them. But we can say that at the very least, they're expected to go through a sort of obstacle course of sorts and do other experiments just tonight while they're fresh off of the boat, so to speak, to see how they've readjusted to Earth gravity. And then soon after that, sometime tomorrow, they'll be able to reunite with their families. And I know somewhere in between, they should be able to finally take their first shower, which I think they're all probably desperate to do.
I'm sure they are. Asa Stahl, thank you very much.
And the history today made with the help of an Oklahoman, Navy Chief Hospital Corpsman Laddie Aldridge, who's from Cushing.
And one of the first doors to open, he was one of the first ones to meet the astronauts and greet them to make sure they were safe after they landed in the ocean.
And KOCO's Patrick Talbot joining us now live. Patrick, you spoke with Aldridge's father today. I can only imagine how proud he was.
Guys, that's absolutely right. Proud is an understatement. Throughout the conversations that I had today, Richard Aldridge, just could not stop gushing about his son and the awesome opportunity he had on Friday.
So proud of him and amazed that it's mind-boggling.
Navy Chief Hospital Corpsman Laddie Aldridge from Cushing, Oklahoma, one of the first people to greet the 4 astronauts from the Artemis II mission after they splashed down in the Pacific Ocean on Friday.
Wow. Wow. And that's my kid.
Richard Aldridge watching his son make history on Friday night in the very house he grew up in. Richard getting phone calls all day from friends and family.
Ike? I'm watching Laddie fixing to open the door to get in the shuttle. Yep, he's done well. He will, Murph, when they show the touchdown, he will be the first man to open the door to go in the capsule.
Richard reflecting on his son's childhood.
He was raised here on the farm, run around in diapers, played in cow manure, played in the mud, had 3-wheelers. I took him everywhere with me. I had no concern. I took him. I told him basically what I thought was wrong, what I thought was right, and said that this is how it is.
And Richard tells me that he can absolutely not wait to speak with his son, to talk to him about the incredible piece of history he got to be a part of on Friday night. Reporting live in Oklahoma City, Patrick Talbot, KOCO 5 News.